Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford already has an impressive NFL career under his belt. But we all know he's chasing another one of these. He wants another Super Bowl ring to add to his resume, add to his collection. And that's one of the reasons we love him. I'm so thankful to have him as the quarterback for my favorite team, the Los Angeles Rams. But in this video, we're going to be looking at some of the other statistics that Stafford could be chasing this season to improve upon his already stellar career. I'm not going to be observing any specific Rams single season records in this video because I feel like that's a topic for another time. I'm specifically focusing on some interesting stats for Stafford's career. So if you're a Rams fan like me and you're into this sort of thing, make sure to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Or if you're just an NFL fan in general, I'm Payo Time, and this is the Rams Radar. All right, so there's a couple of things I want to note here in this video. In the 2024 season, Stafford had 3,762 yards passing, 20 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. So I'm going to focus specifically on some of these statistics here, but it's a good idea to just kind of gauge where we're at as we're looking to what Stafford could be doing in the future of what could be a very historic year for him as a professional quarterback. The first one stat that I want to talk about here is this yards stat here, right? So remember, he has just over 3,700, almost 3,800 yards passing last year, but let's take a look at where he is career. He's here at number 10, just behind Dan Marino and Matt Ryan. Aaron Rodgers still technically is an active quarterback. However, he's currently not signed to a team at the making of this video. So Stafford is the only one in the top 10 on a team and still playing in the NFL right now. He is just under 60,000 total yards. He's going to pass it next year. As soon as he could do this the first game, which would be crazy. I really hope he does it, in SoFi Stadium. He gets over that 60,000 yard club and joins it. That'd be so cool. But say he got another 3,500 yards passing, and that's being very conservative in estimating that, in my opinion. But if he plays the full season, has a good year, I see him doing closer to 4,000. But let's say he got the 3,500 yards. Okay, that would put him kind of like over Aaron Rodgers into this like Phillip Rivers category here. So he's passing Dan Marino, who's a Hall of Famer, Matt Ryan, and he's, depending on what happens with Rodgers, we'll see if he gets signed to a team or not. But he has the potential, if he had a really good year, maybe getting into top 5, like getting above Big Ben Roethlisberger. I don't know. That's just pure speculation, but it's something I thought was interesting to note. If he has a really good year, he potentially can go into the top 5 just behind Brett Favre. But chasing Dan Marino and Matt Ryan on this all-time passing yards list, totally in play for him. Totally in play. And that's exciting to see. The next stat I want to talk about is career passing touchdowns. So Stafford last season had 20 touchdowns. If you look at the all-time list, which I'll bring up here, you see a lot of the same names for sure, but Stafford is still number 10. Oh, man. So he's at 377 total. So if he got 20, which he did last year, right, that would bring him just under 400. But he definitely has a chance of catching Matt Ryan next year. He's only, five touchdowns away from overtaking the number 9 spot. He's chasing Dan Marino. He's chasing Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers. If he had a really good year, I don't necessarily see him going up to that top 5, catching Aaron Rodgers and that crew. But if he had another good season, I think getting into that number 6 slot, number 7, that's in play for Stafford, right? And that's exciting to see, right? So that's okay. So we've gone over passing yards, passing touchdowns. I want to go over completions next. So Stafford currently is What you not number 10, he's number 9 in total career completions. He has 5,174. If we look at what Stafford did in terms of completions last year here on ESPN.com, he had 340. So let's say he did that again, right? 340, and again, I'm not gonna say I have a projection model to see if he will complete that or not. I'll let the YouTube football nerds check that out. But if he were able to overtake, get another 340, that would bring him like once again in this category of chasing Philip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan, potentially top 5. Or that's maybe a tall order. Getting over 600 complete. Okay, so that's maybe being a little over the top, but definitely getting top 7. That's in play. That's in play. So that's exciting. One more statistic that I think is really important to look at for Stafford, and let's preface this here. And we all know what Stafford wants. He wants one of these. Let me get it back on here. He wants one of these. He wants a Super Bowl win, and that win is the most important for him. But if we look at his career as a quarterback, and I know they say wins are not a quarterback stat, but it is something that will always be in the stat books. I mean, there's websites dedicated to recording this stuff. Stafford has a record of 108 wins to 113 losses and 1 tie. Now we all know he went through a carousel of coaches. He never really had a strong run game in Detroit for the first so many or 12 years of his career. So now that he's with the Rams, he's had competent coaching, he's had good running backs, he's had good wide receiving help, and Stafford's played a really really impressive brand of football with the Los Angeles Rams. And one of the reasons I'm excited to see him sling it in 2025, so excited that he's back. But I'd love to see him get a winning record as a quarterback, right? Who doesn't want that, right? Especially with a Hall of Fame career like his. I would love to see him go into the Hall of Fame, getting that. And so in order for him to get that, the Rams will need to win an abundance of games, right? So I guess kind of the sweet spot for regular season, if you're looking, so 18 or 17 game season, if he were to win 17, no, obviously that'd be ideal, but just mathematically speaking, 12 games is what would get him over the top, right? If he were 12-6, nope, that's 5 right on. That would technically put him at 500 on his career. So hopefully he can win 13 games, right? Well, and I guess playoffs factor into that too if you were to go on a Super Bowl run or something like that. Anyway, I'm just rambling and speculating at this point here. I want to hear from you. What about Matthew Stafford excites you for this season? I know there's tons of single season, Rams records that he could set this year. It's really exciting to have him as the quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams again. I can't wait to see what he does. I think he's going to put on a show for everyone. And as always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams. Feel free to check out some of my other videos. I have one talking about the Rams' new headquarters. And then I also put a Rams draft meeting tracker video up earlier today that you can check out as well. Peace out, everyone.